All right, we've just opened our room now, and I see we've got some folks filtering in out of our waiting room. Thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to learn something. Hopefully, you've got your lunch in front of you too. You can take in the information. Uh, we're just going to wait about 30 more seconds for some other folks to filter in out of the waiting room and to have a chance to join into the webinar, and then we'll kick things off. Hope everybody has been enjoying this last little bit of summer before our rainy season begins. All right, well, in the interest of timeliness, why don't we kick things off now? Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for our Lunch and Learn webinar. My name is Shayna Furlong. I'm the President and CEO of the Richmond Chamber of Commerce. Today, my job is going to be facilitating the webinar to assist Ray. So I'll be doing some housekeeping items for you now, and I'll be back to facilitate our Q&A at the end of the session. So before we begin, I'd like to acknowledge that the Richmond Chamber of Commerce operates on the traditional territory of the Musqueam First Nation. They have lived on this land for millennia, and we are very grateful that we can gather here today. And as we're a virtual event, I'd like to acknowledge the territories that you may be joining us from as well. So before we begin, I have some housekeeping items to go over with you. As you will see, you are on mute and your camera is not being used today, but we are encouraging your questions. So please submit those via the Q&A function at the bottom of your screen. You'll see it says Q&A with a little question mark. You can just click on that. You can ask your question even anonymously if it's something you don't want attributed to you. That's perfectly fine. We are going to end it by 1 p.m., but before then, we want to get to absolutely as many questions as we can. If you run into any problems during the presentation today, seeing the screen, maybe Ray's audio drops out for you, let us know via the chat function at the bottom of your screen. So now that our housekeeping is out of the way, it's time for the fun part, time to introduce our presenter for today, someone many of you will already know well, Ray Wang. Ray is the founder of RW Digital. He founded it in 2019. RW Digital is an independent digital agency based in Richmond, BC, right here. Their mission is to help businesses use web technologies, digital advertising, and data analytics to promote their brands and gain more clients in today's ever-changing digital space. RW Digital has worked with established brands like Anthem Properties, Richmond School District 38, Auto West BMW, and many more. Please join me in giving Ray a very warm welcome.
Thank you, Shayna. Thank you for the introduction. Hi, everybody. Thank you for making time today to attend the Lunch and Learn. Hopefully, you'll find the information useful for your marketing, for your business, and anything else you need. So as you know, today we'll be going over Google Ads, introduction to Google Ads. And in this presentation, we'll go over 5 key sections. So which is what is Google Ads, why advertisers use Google Ads, different campaigns available in Google Ads, conversion tracking, as well as simple metrics that you can use to measure your Google Ads performance. So to start, what is Google Ads? So Google Ads is a Google Power advertising tool that serves ads across various Google networks, such as Google search results, websites, blogs, mobile apps, YouTube videos. So basically, that is part of Google's network. So which is enormous across the globe. Google Ads was initially called Google AdWords when it first released in October 2000. So at that time, advertisers actually couldn't run campaigns themselves. Everything had to be launched through Google themselves. But over time, even when I started doing digital advertising, advertisers could run campaigns on their own. And over time, like the platform has evolved and increased its capabilities and as well as reach. So right now, we're approaching this 20th birthday, and this product has continued to grow and continue to remain a very effective advertising tool for brands. So why do advertisers use Google Ads? So first is large reach, which I mentioned previously. So by using Google Ads, you can serve ads to audiences across Google's network, which includes search results, Google Maps, shopping, any blogs or news sites that are part of the network. You can even serve ads on YouTube, Gmail, as well as any thousands of partner sites. So this really creates an immense reach for advertisers to reach prospects who may be interested in their product or services. This also makes Google Ads, like this large network also makes Google Ads highly scalable. So as a business, there's a limited time within a day and a limited amount of energy that we have to physically advertise our businesses. So by using a tool such as Google Ads, we can leverage its large network to really efficiently reach to audiences across various cities or even countries all throughout the day. The second reason is like Google Ads has different campaign types. So the most popular ones are performance max, search campaign, display campaign, app campaigns, etc., which we'll go over later on. So depending on the type of business you have and different depending on the objective you have and the goal you want to reach, you can select from different type of campaign types that best fit what you're looking for. So this again makes it just more efficient. You can be more efficient with your advertising and also more precise with your advertising. And next is Google Ads. Overall, you can generate quality traffic and prospects to your site. So again, it's a lot better return for your advertising than let's just say other form of advertising like traditional businesses where you can have a billboard somewhere but you don't really you don't know who has seen it, like you don't really have a lot of control. But with Google Ads, there's a lot more control and there's a lot more optimization that can be done to increase the efficiency of your campaign and which help you gain quality traffic and prospects. So now we'll start with the different campaign types that are available within Google Ads. So so the ones that we'll go over today are these ones. So for search, performance max, demand gen, etc., etc. So these are, I guess, the more popular ones are the ones that you may see more often, that you'll see people use more often. The hotel, the app one, they're more niche, I guess. If you're like an app company, then you would use an app campaign. But if you're just a brick and mortar, you're other type of business, then you won't use it. The hotel campaign is also is specific to hotels. So, but we'll still go over it just to let you know what is available. But yeah, like the app and hotel campaign are, I think these campaign types are more specific to specific type of advertisers and users. So yeah, to start a search campaign. So search campaign is it's the most popular campaign type in my opinion, and the most effective campaign type to generate leads for businesses. So search campaign lets you search ads on Google search results. So oftentimes when you search for something on Google, you'll see ads on the top or on the bottom on Google search results. So these are search ads and they are served through the through search campaign. So overall, search ads generate the highest quality leads because you're serving ads to people who are in the market looking for the type of product and service that you are promoting. So right now, like just in this example, we search for Toyota Vancouver and Toyota Canada appear, as well as Jim Patterson Toyota downtown appear. So I mean, so in this case, when these advertisers, they're really targeting people who are looking for Toyota in Vancouver. So they're in the market for this product. So Toyota in this case, if they click on the ad, they're likely interested. And overall, over time, if you accumulate 1,000 clicks, 1,000 visitors, you'll probably get quite a few quality prospects. And this is applicable for various industries. And this is the type of campaign that I suggest advertisers can start with if they're really looking to get quality traffic and leads to their website. So to run a successful search campaign, the most critical part to start is actually performing a comprehensive keyword research, because you want to bid on keywords that are most relevant to the product or service that you're looking for. So we using Toyota Corolla as an example. On the left hand side, you can see that there are different type of Toyota products that people or vehicles that people are looking for. So if you're trying to promote the Toyota Corolla, you can use this tool called Google Ads Planner, Keyword Planner, and then you can find a list of keywords that are related to Toyota Corolla, and then you can bid on these keywords so that your ad can appear when somebody searches for the keyword Toyota Corolla hatchback, etc., on Google search results. So basically, the ad itself will try to match what people are looking for. So if your ad says something about Toyota Corolla, then you want to bid on the keyword Toyota Corolla. So the ad it matches your user's intent, and you're able to generate quality traffic to your site. Then after you've done your keyword research, you can start working on the ad copy. So ad copy is up to 15 headlines and 30 characters per headline. So again, the ad should match the ad copy should match the keywords that you are bidding on, because you want to, again, like attract users who are looking for a product or service to your site. So the ad itself, if somebody's interested in Toyota Corolla and the ad says it says Toyota Corolla 2024, then we're able to more likely to attract visitors who are looking for this vehicle type. Next is description. So you can also add up to 4 descriptions to the ad copy. Each description is 90 characters. So again, it's just more information about your ad as well as the product or service that you're promoting. And then once you have set it up, then your ad will appear on Google search results based on the keyword that you're looking for. And then it would look like something like this. Yeah. So the most important part is really the headline, because the headline should clearly and briefly highlight exactly what your product is, and this product should match what a user is looking for. And what they're looking for, it should match what the keywords that you're bidding on. Next is display campaigns. So these are essentially banner campaigns that we often see on blogs or newspaper sites. So like we highlight these ones, so you can have the different dimension for display banners. So you can have one horizontal one, like a hero one on the top, or you have a vertical one on the right hand side. So these are some of the common dimensions that the advertisers use, like 200 by 200, 300 by 1050, etc., etc. So you can run display campaigns really just to build brand awareness for the product or service that you're promoting. These are not necessarily immediate lead generator, like it's not an immediate lead generation tool, but it's a really great way to just let your target market know about your offering or your special promotion. When you run display campaigns, when you run a display campaign, you can set specific target audiences that you want to serve your ads to. So there are different ways that you can target specific audiences, which we'll go over in the next couple of slides. But basically, you can target specific audiences so that you're more efficient with your ad spend as well as your targeting, because we don't want to serve ads to people who are clearly no relevance to the product or service that you're trying to offer or that you're promoting. So the different audience segments that you can use and target within Google Ads. So the first is interest. So I kind of just highlight one, but on the left hand side, this one here. So let's just say you're a hotel or you're a destination marketing association. You can run a campaign and serve ads to people who are interested in hotels and accommodation and trips by destination. So these interests are formed based on users online users past past online usage or activities. So right now, if I were to go online and I'm looking for travel ideas, or I'm looking for hotels, then Google is likely to categorize me under somebody who is interested in hotels and accommodation. And any advertiser who has selected hotels and accommodation is like I'm able to see their ads because they've selected this audience, and Google is likely to categorize and place me under this hotels and accommodations category. So this can be applicable to like various audiences. So that's why a lot of times when online, when you search for things, or you're looking for headphones, all of a sudden you see Best Buy ads, even though you haven't been to Best Buy website. It's probably because Best Buy or any other electronic brand that's serving online, like they're likely targeting people who are looking for headphones or electronics, and then once Google has placed you in that specific category, then you start seeing ads from advertisers who are targeting users who are looking for certain products like electronics, etc., etc., etc. Next is in-market audience. So in-market just means somebody who is in the market for a specific product or service. So this category is a little bit different from the interest one. So this one, it's a little bit more like somebody's actually like really looking to buy a product or service. So again, like it's based on your previous history. So these audiences is really great for brands to use if they're looking to promote their product or service to audiences who are actively looking for product or services that these advertisers are promoting. So for example, if you're like a dealership and you want to promote your September or October 0.99 interest rate promotion, you can target people who are in the market for automobiles and cars, essentially. So again, like it's a good way just to build brand awareness about your brand as well as your product and services, any promotions that you're currently having. Next is live events. So I don't know how Google is able to collect this, but I guess they find a way. So even there's similar like things like college graduation or job change or marriage. So if your product it's most applicable during a certain life change, you can also advertise to people who are going through that specific life event that may use your product or service. So for example, if you're like a HR or recruitment company or something like that, then maybe you want to target fresh grads to learn about job search, like like HR, like help them with job search or et cetera, et cetera. So you can you can serve ads to people who have recently graduated or graduating soon. So that's one way that you can use life change to promote your product or service. Next is remarketing. So basically, remarketing is anybody who has previously been on your website. So you can serve so you can serve everybody who's been to your website with a special promotion, or you can even create a custom audience. Let's just say people have been to your website but never purchased anything. You can build an audience on that, and then you can run a remarketing campaign. You can serve campaign to people who have been to your website but never purchased anything, and then you can offer a special discounts using some sort of display campaign, a display ad, just to get them back to your website and get them to purchase on your site. Next is demographic. So this one is purely just based on your demographic, gender, age. I don't know how they calculate parental status as well as household income, but I guess the Google has some sort of data that they collect. But I think the gender and age is a lot easier to calculate or to collect. I think it's, from my understanding, is just based on the your Google profile. So when we create a Google account, we enter our information, and then Google just uses that information to categorize us on gender and age, and then then that becomes our profile, and then advertisers can serve ads to individuals based on demographics. So even using like let's just say you're like a college or like your BCIT, and then you realize a lot of people in their 25 to 34, they're looking to learn to advance their career or then learn more, then you can target people who are 25 to 34 with a specific ad about wanting to change your career or upgrade your career, like take this online, they take these courses. So there are, I guess, different age groups have different needs, and advertisers can use these kind of demographics for their marketing and their advertising, and creating services or marketing services that are more specific and more relevant to specific demographics. Next, we can also use keywords to serve ads or to target ads. So in this case, so for example, you can serve ads on websites or apps that contain specific keywords on a web page. So for example, you're like an auto brand, you're like, let's just say you're Audi dealership, and you want to serve ads for your Audi Q3 on any page that talks about Audi Q3 and any competing vehicle. So it could be the BMW X1, etc., etc. So basically, you just enter a list of keywords that are really relevant to your product or service, and then you can serve ads on these websites that contain these keywords. But yeah, you don't know what it's up to Google to determine which web pages and blogs that they want to serve ads. So the page could be about a car accident, so it's not necessarily good, but this is just an option. You can if you run a daycare, you can enter certain keywords on here like about daycare, childcare, and then you can run campaigns on web pages or apps or YouTube videos about daycare. So that's just more relevant. So the ad is again like it's just more relevant to the web page, but obviously there are limitations and possible troubles with this approach. But it's just a method that advertising can use. Next is website topic. So different web pages that we visit, like they all categorize under different topics. So it can be about computer, finance, like literature, travel, etc., etc. So you can also advertisers can also serve ads based on the topic of the web page. So if you're Best Buy, for example, you can serve your ad on blogs or news that are related to computer and electronics. If you have a Black Friday sale coming up, you can just run a general campaign, build brand awareness about the upcoming Black Friday sale on any computer electronic website. And then you can even niche down a bit more on even more like subtopics. So for example, if you click on the business finance sector, there's actually even other additional topics, even more niche topics within the business finance topic. So there's commercial lending, investment banking, risk management, venture capital. So let's just say you're a bank, want to promote promote your RBC, you want to promote your commercial lending service, you can run a campaign on topics that are on websites where the topics are related to commercial lending. So you can run a campaign just on that. You want something about investment banking, you can run a campaign just on websites that talk about investment banking, etc., etc. So again, it's just be more niche and more specific with your advertising. Hopefully, you'll be able to reach an audience that are very closely aligned with your product or service. So that's just another way and to run campaigns to promote your product or service. You can also do placement on specific sites. So for example, you're a destination marketing association group and you want to advertise on specific sites, so you can do placements like website placements or app placements. Website and YouTube placements. So in this case, let's just say search for tourism, and these are all the websites that are available within Google Ads where we can place ads on these specific websites. So these are related to tourism, and if you like the content of the site, then you can place ads specific on these websites. So this is a lot more, I think there's a lot more control to avoid any, I guess, backlash, because sometimes when you let Google run campaigns, like your ads can appear on sites that may be not aligned with your branding or your values, which can create problems sometimes, which I've seen. But if you search for specific sites that you want to target when you serve ads on, I think there's just a lot more control and a lot more transparency, and then you know exactly like what you're getting into basically. So this is a really great way if the type of product or your organization are a bit more keen on the type of partners or advertise placements that you want to serve your ads on. Like this is a great way to avoid trouble and ensuring that your ads are on websites that you want to serve your ads on. You can also do this, apply the same thing to YouTube. On YouTube, so both on the channel level and the video level. So you can serve ads on specific YouTube channels. So if there's certain YouTubers or YouTube channels that you like, and you know there's a great alignment between their content on that channel overall and your organization, then you're comfortable with serving ads on that specific channel, then you can do that. You can even do ad placement on specific YouTube videos. So for example, you know, if there's a video about tourism and you know some Seattle blogger have a video about traveling to Vancouver and Richmond, and you want to serve an ad on just that YouTube video, then you can do that as well using the placement method. So that's kind of the overview of the of Google ad display campaigns, and now we're moving on to shopping campaigns. Shopping campaigns are these type of ads that we see on Google search results. So for example, when you search for something like Nike running shoes, you'll see products on the top of search results, and they're related to what you're looking for. So these type of ads, they're served through Google Ads, but they need to be set up through a campaign called Google Merchant Center. So basically, if you have a e-commerce site like a Shopify site, you need to link your online shop with a tool called with this another platform called Google Merchant Center, and then that center will create a feed of all your inventory, so like shoes, etc., etc. And then from there you can serve these products as ads through Google Ads. I don't want to get into detail, but that's just kind of the general process, and this is just the outcome of the type of ad you can serve on Google search results. It's also a great way because it's a great way to promote your product, especially like apparel and things like that. Just because it's more visible, like people can see exactly what they're looking for, and then once they click on it, there's a lot more details about the product, or they can go directly to your webpage. So yeah, so this is an inventory. So this is a feed of all your like a product feed within a Google Merchant Center. So you would have to set up something like this in order to serve ads on Google search results for shopping ads. Next is YouTube campaigns. I'm pretty sure we're all very familiar with YouTube ads. But we'll still go over this. So yeah, so YouTube ads are ads served on YouTube platform, like on channels or even on search results. So even like this, when I search for, in this case, like I search for downtown Seattle, and there's a hotel ad. It's not on a channel or not on in a specific video. It's just on the overall search results page for the search phrase downtown Seattle. So yeah, so overall, it's a great way to really promote your product or service, just because it's like in your face in a good way or not. So some ads are skippable, some are non-skippable. A lot of times when you connect YouTube on TV. Sometimes you can't really skip. But that's kind of like a trend. A lot of people they don't have what is it called? Like they just watch YouTube or they watch Netflix on TV, and we can't really skip it. And then you can't really add like an ad blocker on your TV. So a lot of times we just have to watch the whole video about SL certificate. So it's a great way just to promote your brand and just to let people know about your product or service. Yeah, especially kind of like it's really prominent on the screen. There are also ads on the side as well, so they can be banner ads. Yeah, and then they can link to your. Then they can be a call to action to your website, just so for people to learn more about your product or service. Moving on to hotel ads. So hotel ads are actually in some ways very similar to the Google merchant ads that we saw, the Google the shopping ads. So these ads are ads of like of hotels and their listings, the rooms on top of search results when you search for like hotel related search queries. So in this case, I've searched for Richmond hotels, and these are the ads that appear on the top of Google search results. And these are like hotel ads. So they can appear on search or they can appear on maps, and then they only appear when somebody looks for hotel ads. And I mean, not every time we search for hotel, these ads will appear. It's up to Google whether or not they want to serve the hotel ads or not. But these ads can only appear for hotel related search queries. And in order to serve these kind of ads, you would have to set up a hotel center account, which is must be set up through a partner Google provided vendor. So there's a whole process that needs to be done in order to be able to serve this kind of ad. But again, it's a great way to really showcase the facility, the amenities, the ratings, etc., etc. So if you're a hotel, it's obviously a great way to let people know about your establishment. Next is called Performance Max campaigns. So this is a type of campaign that let you serve ads. It's one campaign, and then you can serve across multiple channels. So unlike like search campaigns, you can only serve search ads on Google search results or YouTube ads. YouTube ads that only serve on YouTube. So this type of campaign it allows you to enter your ad copy, add a couple images, add a video, and then Google will serve your ads across all networks. So which include YouTube, Display, Search, Discover, Gmail, and Maps. I don't really recommend like it's an easy way to kind of build a brand awareness, but I think it's not necessarily a great way in terms of efficiency, just because different type of like not like different type of businesses have different ways to market. Like different markets, respond to ad a bit differently. Ideally, we pick campaign types that are most useful to our like business goals. So ideally, we want to pick a few that best fit, and then we allocate budgets to these type of campaigns. So right now for this one, once you set a campaign like this and you just let Google run, it's not like the way they serve ads, like it's not necessarily always a good use of our ad budget. Maybe Google serve ads on certain networks that shouldn't have that they shouldn't have allocated that much budget to, etc. So, but once you have it, you're basically letting Google to do its work. And Google will use up our budget. Like if you put $1,000 in there, Google is gonna use it all. Like that's their business. So once you have something like this and it becomes a free for all, it's not. You're just gonna Google's gonna use all your budget. But it's not necessarily we may not see a good return from the ad spend. So personally, I don't really recommend Performance Max, but I know there's some companies if they just don't have the time to run campaigns and this and that, like they just do a Performance Max. But yeah, but it's just an option. But I personally don't think it's a very effective use of ad budget. It's not a very good way to kind of serve ad to specific target audiences. Next is demand gen campaign. So it's very similar to Performance Max, but a lot fewer audience, a lot fewer networks. So in this case, you can only serve ads on YouTube Shorts. So the short, like 10-15 second videos. You can do Discover if you have a if you're using a Google phone. There's like on the kind of like home screen, there's this feature where it recommends articles and YouTube videos to you based on your past activities. So within that homepage or home screen section, like there can also be ads. So if you're running like that part is called discovery or discover. So if you're running a discover ad, then your ad can appear on that home screen area. And where there's a lot of kind of relevant content to the mobile user. So that's what a Discover ad is. And next is Gmail, so which you all know, and then there's also you can also serve ads on there as well. So again, it's also not, in my opinion, is not necessarily that great because it's a bit kind of broad and spread out, and it's not your ad, but the ad budget is not very targeted on specific channels or audiences. So but if you want to just build brand awareness, like you can, like this kind of campaign type can be used. And the next is ad campaign. So if you have an app and you want more people to know about it and download it, you can run a app campaign. So there is a setup process involved to do this, which we won't go into detail, but just letting you know that it is possible. And then you can run your campaign through Google search results display, Google Play, which is their app platform. You can also run on YouTube as well, just to get more downloads. So to run an app campaign, so first you need to write ad copy, and next you can select different audiences that you want to target. So active users, recently active users, so that's what app users, and then and then users who have completed certain actions in the App Store or other platforms. So these are kind of the networks that you can serve your ads on. So search results, play, YouTube, and display network. So so if you're searching for a type of app, your app ad can appear. If you're in the Google Play, the app store for Google. If you're looking for certain type of games and things like that, an advertiser can target you if they think if the app is relevant to a game that you have previously searched or you'd be interested in. And then YouTube, same thing, like it's basically relevant content based on the app that you have, and then you can serve ads on any YouTube channels or source result related to the app, and then SIP applies for Google Display Network. So any blogs or news sites that are relevant to your app, like you can serve ads on those as well. So next we move on to Google Ads conversion. So a conversion is actually a goal or a specific activity a user has performed on your website. So that can be somebody downloads a file or submits a contact form, or they made a purchase on your ad as a result on your website as a result of an ad interaction. So if somebody clicks on an ad and then 10 days later they submit a form on your website, that depending how you set up, like that ad would be attributed a goal. Basically, that click has led to a goal, and then Google Ads would give credit to that click, basically. So in order for all this goal to be tracked, you would have to set it up kind of in the goal section in Google Ads. So there are different ways you can set it up. You can set it up through Google Analytics 4. So it's the new Google Analytics platform. So you create that goal in Google Analytics 4, and then you can import it in Google Ads, or you can create it directly through your Google Ads account, but there's other configuration involved. We won't get into detail, but that's how you would, like, these are kind of the two main ways how advertiser would create goals in Google Ads. It's very critical to set goals up, because this is the only way to see whether or not your Google Ads campaigns are actually contributing to conversion, like specific actions on your website. If you find out, one campaign is performing, contributing to more goals than the other, then you can allocate more budget to the one that's performing better, and then reduce the one that it's is not performing as well. So again, like just having this kind of number just gives you more control and grip about your budgeting, and then you can just be more efficient with your overall advertising. Next is Google Ads metrics. So here are the main metrics that we typically would look at to assess the quality and the performance of a campaign. So clicks, it's just the number of times that people click on your ad. So they can click on the headline, the ad copy, or number on your ad. Clicks, we will look at it, but it's not critical, just because clicks is a lot of time. It's really a reflection of your budget. The bigger your budget, the more clicks typically you will have. But again, it's still good to see, just to see how the market is responding to the ad. Next is impression. It's just an impression occurs or is counted whenever your ad is shown on a website. So whether or not a user actually sees an ad, that's Google doesn't count that. Just every time the ad appears, your ad appears on search results or on YouTube or on a website, like that's considered as an impression. Next is click-through rate. It's the percentage of user who have clicked versus the number of impressions. So if the number of clicks is 10 and you got 100 impressions, the click-through rate is 10%. So typically click-through rate is around 2 to 3%. So anything above that is generally very good. Click-through rate is generally used to understand the kind of like the efficiency of your campaign and whether or not you're targeting the right audience. Like if you have a very low click-through rate, chances are you're not advertising to the right audience, and that's when people are not clicking on you. So looking at the click-through rate helps you kind of guide you and it helps you understand whether or not you're targeting the right audience, and if you make any adjustments to your ad copy or the keywords you're bidding on. Next is average cost per click. So basically, it's the cost for clicking on your ad like each time. This couple of years, I think, as inflation and recession kind of have gone, like overall cost per click across different sectors and brands, organizations have gone up. The reason is that it just because of competition. So more advertisers are spending money on Google Ads and advertising, just try to capture more prospects and customers. That will typically drive up the cost per click. So that's kind of something that we're seeing. So if you're seeing that on your end, it's typically perfectly normal. Google has also inflated the cost per click on their own, artificially inflated. So like they just bump up everybody's cost per click. So they're actually in some hot water from a legal perspective for doing that. But that's something that has also contributed to the increasing average cost per click. Next is conversion rate and cost per conversion. So conversion is kind of what we discussed before. So it's just a calculation of the number of times that certain events have occurred on the site. So it could be a phone call, a form inquiry, etc., etc. Conversion rate is the number of conversion divided by the number of clicks. So if you have one like 10 conversions and 100 clicks, the conversion rate is 10%. So typically conversion rate is around 2 to 3%. So anything above that it's good. Again, like it's just a good way to measure how effective your campaign is. And then I guess similar to cost per click, actually the inverse of cost per click, conversion rate has actually gone down the last year or two, just for various sectors and various organizations, just because I think people are more cautious with their money. So they're less they would think twice before spending. So it takes more clicks for a purchase to happen. So that typically will drive down the conversion rate. But again, that's kind of typical in this kind of economic situation. Like when people have a lot of money, they don't think as much. Like they'll just click on an ad they want to buy, buy something, they'll just buy it. But now people think twice, and yeah, so that will affect the overall conversion rate. Cost per conversion is just the overall cost divided by the number of conversions that you have. Yeah, depending on your industry, cost conversion can vary, and cost conversion overall have also gone up. Same like it's for the same reason I just mentioned previously. That is all for today. If you guys have any questions, I'm happy to answer them now. Hope everybody's still awake. So
That was a great presentation. Thank you so much, Ray. That was a lot of really good information. And I have to say, I feel like I'm dating myself because I still remember when we called it Google AdWords. We haven't had any questions come through via the Q&A right now. So just a reminder to everyone on the call, if something twigged for you or if there's something you're confused about in the presentation, don't hesitate to put that into the Q&A. We still have about 10 minutes left before the end of the presentation. I have a bit of a question. So I know you touched on this a little bit, but Ray, are there common mistakes that businesses might be making when they're getting started with Google Ads? And how do you think they can avoid making those mistakes?
yeah, I think that number one is probably not doing very comprehensive keyword research. So I think going back to the initial slide, uh, yeah. So ideally, the ad itself should be very targeted, based on the product that you're offering, as well as the audience that you want to reach. So a lot of time, if the keywords don't very closely aligned with the target audience, then you're just not gonna attract the right type of people to your site. So that becomes kind of wasted ad spend. And I think sometimes people buy into some of uh, the campaigns that Google promote, like I think Performance Max, demand generation that I mentioned previously. Once you're getting, like, Google is gonna spend all your money. Like, doesn't matter how much you put in there. So if you select a campaign like Performance Max and you let Google run your campaign and serve ads across into the platform, like it's not very targeted, I think, a lot of times, and you're just not gonna see the result. And then yeah, again, like Google is gonna spend all your money. So these are kind of common things I've seen, and I think even and then conversion goals, which is actually quite critical. It's like a lot of time. A lot of businesses don't set up properly, so they don't have a very accurate reflection of how well their campaigns are performing. So that kind of affects how they allocate their budget and things like that. So these are kind of common things that I've seen.
That's great. Well, thank you so much. Got a question in the chat here. Will a copy of the presentation be sent to us? Can we have a copy of your slide deck afterwards, Ray?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. And usually you will also see the folks who've been to a lot of these webinars will already know our webinars go up on our webinar library on our website in the following week. So if you miss something or you want to go back and review it or share it with another member of your team, that's an option as well. Again, any other questions in the Q&A, we're happy to take them. How do you recommend businesses optimize their testing and using like their ad copy to its best ability as they're setting up their campaigns?
Yeah. So to start, typically we typically recommend clients to start with search campaign, because that's the kind of the best campaign type to generate like quality traffic and leads. And then I think that can be done. So right now you can serve up to 15 headlines within an ad copy, and those ad copy actually get rotated by Google, and then you can see which combination. So because at any given time, Google can search 3 headlines on Google search results, so you can see which combination generates the best return overall, and then you can pin those headlines and then you can just start only serve the best combination type on Google search results. So there's like some data, yeah. So you can have that kind of information within Google Ads.
Ooh, that's great. That's really good information. Um, Now, for a lot of folks who are members of the chamber or who might be on the call, they're smaller businesses.
Mhm.
Ray, would you say that there is like a minimum budget you should be looking at when you're getting into Google Ads, or is like 20 bucks a month better than nothing?
I think if you're depending on the city that you're targeting, but I think typically like anywhere between I think like at least like 600, 800 or so to start. It's like minimal because average cost per click in Greater Vancouver, I think it's $5. So if you get $5, you spend 500 bucks, that's 100 clicks. Hopefully, 100 clicks, you get a couple of inquiries. Like that's
Yeah.
kind of how we would do the math kind of deal.
So looking at like 600 to 800 kind of to start.
Yeah, yeah, to start. Like if you're in a major city, then it like you probably had to spend like 6 grand, 6 grand, because your cost per click could be like $20, depending on the market.
Sounds good. All right, I'm going to do a last call for any questions on the Q&A. Is there anything that you wanted to address that you haven't had a chance to yet, Ray?
No, I mean, and if anybody has any questions, they're more than welcome to reach out. I'm happy to answer them later on.
Awesome. Well, I should say too, Ray is a very involved chamber member, so you will see him out at a lot of events. I'd really like to thank you, Ray, for sharing that information with us today. I hope everybody's learned something. I certainly did. Before we part for the day, I'd just like to remind you of some of our other upcoming events, some that you might see Ray at. One would be our Mid-Autumn Festival celebration tomorrow. That is a luncheon at Fortune Terrace Chinese Cuisine. I think there are maybe a small handful of tickets still left. So if you haven't signed up yet and you would still like to attend, you can do that on our website, and you know how to use that. It's richmondchamber.ca, or you can find it through our Google ad. We also have a Toastmasters Club that we launched this summer. So if you are like Ray and you are a presenter sometimes and you would like to be an even stronger public speaker, it's a great way to get to build those skills for you or your team. Again, your chamber membership extends to everybody who's in your organization. Those meet every Wednesday. So actually right now they're having a meeting from noon to 1:15 p.m. It's a great professional development opportunity. And we have October 10th, a Business After 5 at Pathways Clubhouse. This is just announced, just live. We invite you to attend. Pathways Clubhouse are going to be celebrating World Mental Health Day on October 10th with us as well. You will also see in your inboxes coming up some information about upcoming election engagement with the candidates. And I will leave you there. I hope you have a great rest of your day ahead. And if you are interested in presenting a webinar to Richmond Chamber members, please feel free to get in touch. Have a great rest of your day.